the first thing that we want to do is to understand the work environment, the Microsoft Excel, the Microsoft Excel work environment. Okay? So as a new user, this is very important. It's very important you know that. You know the work environment. Because that's what makes you to appreciate what is what is called within the Microsoft Excel environment. Okay, so let's start with the top of the screen, the place where we have the green color. It is called the ribbon. So at the top here, the top where you have green and you have below it, actually below that green color at the top of the screen, where you have file, home, insert, draw, page layout, and so on. And then, of course, to the bottom here, where before we have the formula bar, it's called ribbon. It's called RBBON, the ribbon. So the ribbon is actually the control environment or the control center. So everything that you do in Microsoft Excel is controlled within the ribbon. That's why you have all those parameters and all those commands. And I'm going to take time to explain them because I'm talking to beginners. I'm talking to those who are starting Microsoft Excel, and Excel is their challenge. So this is for you if you are here to learn how to use Excel to do your task, and then of course meet up with the task. This one is for you. So now the ribbon is the control center, like I said. It's the place where you have all the things that you use within the Excel environment. You have the tabs on the ribbon. You have the what do you call it now? The group of commands. You have the command buttons. So the ribbon is made up of the tabs, the groups, and then the command buttons. So the tabs are the ones you have at the top, and that is the home tab. For instance, if you look at the top of the screen, don't mind my own showing W. This is an installation actually. When you install an additional software to your Microsoft Excel, you will have what is called add-ins, an additional installation, which may take its place within your tab. And that's why I have quite a lot of, because I'm an extensive user of Excel. I use Excel for quite a lot of tasks. And so I have additional installation like Active Data, WPS, Automate, Developer, and all those stuff. So Power Pivot, Fred. This one is for the Federal Reserve data, for American data. It's called Fred. So quite a lot of installation. So sometimes if I want to make my screen look like every other person's own, I can go to the File tab, and then of course go to the option, go to my options to customize my ribbon, and then under the customize, you can see all those additional ones that were added. I can tick them off just to make my screen look like yours, so you don't get intimidated. Okay, so you can see that I've cleaned up my Microsoft Excel environment. I now have the what do you call it? The ribbon looking clean, and so you are not intimidated. Say, this man's Excel does not look like mine. Don't worry, we're on the same page. Okay, so I was talking about the tabs. So we have the home tab, we have that's on the ribbon, we have the insert, we have the draw. If you are using Microsoft 365 as an application, then you are going to have the draw. So, or you are using, I think I have seen it on the system of those who are using Microsoft 2019 and 2021, if I'm correct. I've seen it. I've seen the draw. I've seen um, draw menu. Yes, I've seen it on on their on their system. So, but it's more peculiar to the, what do you call it now? The 365 environment. So if you are using 365, you will possibly see more of the draw um, more menu than every other person. Um, so we have the draw tab. We have the page layout. We have page layout. We have um, we have page layout. We have the formulas tab. We have the data tab. We have the review. We have view. And so let me just click on these tabs so that you can see what I'm saying. So the insert tab, let's start with the home tab. The home tab has groups of command. The first one is the clipboard. The clipboard group is what you see under the home tab, is the first thing to the left, is the first to the left. So it is the clip, is the clipboard group. Clipboard. So it's called clipboard. Okay? It's called clipboard. Then we have the font. The font, the font group. We have the styles, the alignment group where you do all your alignment. We have the numbers group where you take care of numbers settings. It's called numbers group. Take care of numbers settings. Then we have the styles group, the sales group. All these are still under the home. They are still under the home um, tab. We have the editing group. We have the add-ins. The add-ins is where you have additional installations. That is, if you have a need for an additional capability to be added to your Microsoft application, of course, you can have the, what do you call it now? The add-ins. Like you want to use artificial intelligence within your Excel, the AI tool. Maybe you want to add ChatGPT, for instance, to your Excel. Why not? You can use what do you call it? The add-ins. So that means you are having what is called additional installation. That is what add-ins means. You are having additional installations. So you have autopilot and so on. And then we have the then we have the analyze group. We have analyze. We have where you can set up analysis. We have PDF. We have signature, and of course, some of the things that you are seeing here are added. Okay, that is some of the things that you are seeing on my own came through the add-ins. Then we have the insert tab where we have the tables commands. We have the forms. If you are using form is associated with 365, where you can create a form for your account and then use it to share within your your Office 365 account. Okay, so you can have an account. Okay, then you have the draw, then you have page layout. So still under the insert, you have the group table, you have chart. So if you are trying to create chart, you have sparkline, you have filter, you have links, and so on. Then when you get to draw, you can use pen, you can sign into your Microsoft on your Microsoft Excel sheet. You can append a signature. Okay, you can append a signature on your Microsoft Excel sheet. You can do quite a lot as you may desire. All right. So I use that a lot, and I do a lot of signature tasks and all the other things that I may want to do. Okay. Then I also have the page layout. The page layout is also a group. Okay. The page layout is also a group. So in the page layout, wow. In the page layout, you can have um, in the page layout. Sorry, pardon me, just trying to ensure that my settings are all right. Okay. So in the page layout, we have page setup, themes, scale to fit, the sheet options, the arrange, and so other things. Then you have formulas. You have formula controls under the formula tab where you can do all your formula settings. You can do your functions. You can see all the functions that you have in Excel, ranging from text function, the statistical function, financial functions, the logical function, date and time functions, the maths and trigonometry, the engineering, and many other functions that we have. Then the data tab is where you do a lot of analysis, analytic tasks in Microsoft Excel. So if you're trying to analyze data, then the that is the environment for you. Okay? That's the environment for you. Okay. So now, I'm going to be moving to so that's just still talking about the work environment, okay? Just the ribbon and other things that you have at the top, and all the controls that we have at the top. So, like I said, under each of the tab, you have group of commands. So all the commands in Excel are organized into groups. Okay, they are organized into groups. So that's why you have under Home tab, you have clipboard, font, and so on. Under Insert, you have table, illustration, controls, charts, sparkline, and so on. And then under Draw. So that's how you navigate around Microsoft Excel. The top level there, where you have that green screen, on the left side here is the quick access toolbar. Quick access. Quick access toolbar means that that environment gives you access to frequently used commands in Excel. Frequently used command. So if you look at the top, beside it, you will see that there are some buttons. There is undo, there is redo, there is save, there is new, there is open. So if you want to add buttons to the top of your quick access, so that instead of going through the menu looking for a control to use, you can add them to the quick. Okay, so I hope I'm back. I think I had a little network glitch, but I hope I'm back. So there's always issue of network sometimes, but that's not going to stop us. That's not going to stop your opportunity to learn Microsoft Excel. So I'm determined to teach this course. Okay. All right. So let me continue still talking about the Microsoft Excel environment. So I was talking about the quick access toolbar, and it's at the top. So it gives you access to frequently used command. Then let's go down. We have another tab here at the back of Home tab that is called the File tab. This File tab actually gives you access to what is called Backstage. Backstage. So the Backstage is where you control every task. You have access to your file, you know, your the previous file, the recent files that you have created. You have access to create new Excel workbook. You also have access to creating workbook from templates. So that means if you want to create a workbook from a template, you can create a workbook from a template. As you can see, you have different templates from schedule planner to simple Gantt chart to basic business invoice to project management tracker to milestone project management tracker, then calendar, timesheet, name it. So this business plan checklist. So it's not all the time that what you want to do, you have a proper knowledge of it. It's not all the time. So sometimes because you don't have the proper knowledge of what you want to do or the task you want to perform, you probably want to use a template that will give you a guide into how to do that thing. Okay, so you can use the business plan checklist, for instance. You can say I want to create it, and then so I'm trying to do a business plan checklist, and I want to set up a business plan, but I want to use a checklist that will tell me what's the next thing, what's the next thing, what is the next thing, what's the next thing. So they have given us a template that can help us to do that. I think I'm having internet issue, but it's fine. It will come. So, and if it doesn't, I'll bend it and continue what I'm doing. So, you can always use templates to get what you want. Templates give you access to. So these are templates. For calendar, you click this, you do create, and then it creates a calendar template for you. So you see that you can you can easily do your own personal calendar. Can you see that? Can you easily do your own personal calendar just using a template? Just using a template. So you can do a lot with a template. Okay? You can do a lot with a template. Um, Back to the file tab. You start with your SWOT. You start with your SWOT analysis. You start with your SWOT analysis, and then in your SWOT analysis, you are doing your strength, your weakness, the opportunities, the threats. So, so you can do a checklist. So this checklist is developed based on SWOT. It says using the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, which is the SWOT analysis framework. Develop a checklist of. So if you're trying to be more professional, this is one very good way to do that. Very good way to do that. So you can use templates to make your task very easy. So back to the file tab, which is Backstage. The file tab takes you to a place where it's called Backstage. Under that, you have Home, you have New, you have Open. Open, you can open your document from any place. You can open it from what do you call it now? You can open it from your your email. You can open it from any place you want to open your file. Okay. Then we have the Backstage. Also, we have Save. We have Info, where you get document information. You have your print option, your share your document, your export, your account information, and so on. So that's your Backstage. So we are still talking about the Microsoft Excel work environment. We started by looking at the ribbon, and then on the ribbon, I have talked about the tabs. And on the tabs, I say each of the tabs are divided into groups of commands. And then each of the groups, of course, have command buttons. Then below, we have what we call the formula bar, where you create your formula. So you can easily create your formula equals to this cell plus this cell. You press enter. If the cell has values, then it will give you answer, as you can see. So the formula bar, of course, is your environment where you can have what do we call it now? Text, numbers, where you edit them, and then formula. So it is whatever you type in the formula bar that it will show. If you type number, it will show number. If you type text, it will show text. And if you type a formula, it will show a formula. So, but it is called a formula bar because what we do there basically is handling formula. Is handling formulas. Okay. handling formula. That's what we do there. So then we have what we call the column header and the row header. So where we have the ABC and the 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3 down is the row header. The A, B, C, D, F, J, and downward is the column header. It's the column header. So that's where you control your column, like, selecting a column, selecting a row. So you pick your selection from the headers. Okay. Now, so that talks about the work environment. At the bottom, we have what we call sheet tab. Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. Okay? Then now, let's talk about some basic things like copying a text, pasting, pasting a text, copying a text, pasting it, and so on. That we will find under the Home tab and the clipboard group. So let's talk about copy, paste, copy, paste, and we have, no, before I go to paste, let's say cut, then paste, then paste, sorry, format painter, format painter. Good. So what does it mean to copy a text? It means to duplicate text. So if I select all these texts and I click on the clipboard, the copy command, I can copy it, take my mouse button to where I want to, and paste it. That is copy and paste. Okay, so that means I duplicated the text. I have a duplicate of the text. But when it comes to cut means you take it away from its former location to another place. That is cut. You cut it. You cut it out from where it was and you take it to somewhere else. That is a cut. Okay? You cut it. Then, paste means whether you cut or you copy, to actually display it is the paste. And these things have shortcuts. For copy is Control C. For cut is Control, that's the shortcut X. For paste is Control V. So what does that mean? If I want to copy this text alone now, if I do hold down my key on my keyboard and I say Control C, I can Control V somewhere else to paste it. But if I put Control X, I cut a text, I can bring it to somewhere else and Control V. That means I've removed it from here and I'm now pasting it here. Okay? So that's the beauty of cut. But the format painter is different. The format painter is a tool that copies formats. It doesn't copy text, it copies formats. That's what it does. The work is to copy a format. So, what do we mean by formats? Formats are things you apply to text, like, bold, italics, text color, underline, font, choosing your font, changing your font size. All these things are called formatting. It means you have changed the attribute of the data. It's is formatting. So to copy a format now means that instead of replicate, let's say I want to have this same format, I want to have it on this text here, or let's say the text at the bottom here. I don't need to repeat because what I did here was about five formats or six. I think it's six, seven, one, two, three, four, five, six. I applied six formatting to that text. Okay, I applied six formats to that text. And what did I do? I changed the font, you know, I changed the size of the font. I applied bold. Let me see another font that is bigger. So I changed the font. I applied bold. I applied italics, underline, and then I increased the font size to 20. So all these are formatting which you are applying to a text. So what we are saying is with this formatting, so with this format, then you will come to the clipboard, you click format painter, and then you will highlight the other text. So that format will be applied to the second text. Okay. Um, well, because this beginners class is going to be in sessions, I'm going to stop here on this particular one to allow you to practice. And we're going to come back again and continue from where we stopped on the Microsoft Excel for beginners. So subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you'll be able to catch up with the tutorial when it starts. I mean, if you have subscribed and you have the notification button active, all you just need to do is to click the what do you call it? I mean, the click the notification button, and then once the meeting is being scheduled, you will be notified. You'll be notified. All right. So we're going to have another session soon, and then you'll be notified also on the second session under the Microsoft Excel for beginners.